up for a minute? We gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas tonight.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Welcome back, subscribers. And to those new people just stopping by, hey, you know what? Welcome to you guys too. If this is your first video, please go ahead and check out the intro to help you get a better idea of where I'm coming from with this approach. Again, this stems from the words I got from a pit boss that he said, you know what, the average shooter only rolls 7 rolls before a 7 out. So that's kind of how I developed my 2 and 4 strategy I had before. And this is a modified version of that I think really reduces down that risk factor of the bankroll and also is more geared towards the introductory player who has no experience with craps that kind of wants to get into it. And number two, it's based on simplicity. You know, within every game there has to be some sort of, you got to be able to crack it somehow. And you know what? Sometimes the answers are so obvious that we overlook it because of the distractions that we've been conditioned to learn over time. The distractions, in my opinion, have to do with, you know, the hard ways over here, the hot bets, and things like that, that should you lose, you know what? This is going to grind money out of your rack than anything else. The other way is perhaps doing the hedges, because over time, statistically speaking, you're losing money with the hedges as well. Field bet, technically the same sort of thing, because the combinations of rolls are diminished, and the only benefit you're going to have is off of the 9 because you're getting paid twice, and also the 4, but then again, you're only getting 2 combinations of rolls. And of course, if you're playing the 5, you're not going to win here, so it becomes a complete wash. The come section as well, you know, again, a lot of people, they get into this, in my opinion, pressing bets, and then pretty soon they have $75, $100 on the table, and they're pressing and taking. Okay, so they're taking 1 unit of $10. You know, in my thought, you just had all that money on the board and you put that all at risk for 10, 20 bucks. Is it worth it? In my thought, no, because that could be in your rack. So that's what I really wanted to kind of overcome with developing this strategy I have today. It's geared towards everybody with no experience. It's easy to put the chips on the board. You know, on the bubble craps, it rolls every 30 seconds. And by having so many bets out here and all sorts of stuff, chances are pretty good you might time out. So that's why I also developed this. Anyways, you saw in the past video, I think it was video 6.5 or 6.5 hours, which technically would really be about 4.5, because you wouldn't be starting at that extreme low level. Now let's think about this here. Go ahead and check out that first video and the prior video that I had on my trip 1. I never dipped into that second bankroll, and considering I started at such a low level of basically $25, I essentially turned $25 into what we have right now is $6.50. Go ahead and check out your previous video. I did have a loss. Unfortunately, for some reason, I clicked a button and it didn't record, or my record button, that's what it was. My record button wasn't recording, so I couldn't catch that loss. But in all transparency, I shared it with you guys. So, you know, I don't have anything to gain to sit here and play around and then only show you what I want to show you. I don't do that. I don't play that game. Anyway, having said that, let's go ahead and carry on. Again, I left off with 650. And let's see if I can continue on and eventually through the course of this day make me to $1,000, which is my goal, which therefore would pay for my original bankroll, pay for the current bankroll, and pay for my entire trip. Now the way I look at it is when I'm working with a new strategy and I really want to build it up to the higher levels to where I could be making $300 an hour, I'm going to go ahead and accept that first trip as a loss. So all of that money can be used for my second trip and for all the bankrolls for that trip, allowing me to start at the higher level, like tier 3, which is going to be, you know, 10s, followed up by, you know, by your 50s, and then onto that we're working with 125 or something like that. Anyway, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. let's get to the casino and let's have you guys look over my shoulder and kind of see how I do it. So let's hang tight. Let's have some fun. Oh, I just happened to look down and there I'm at. I made my goal of my cash out at $67. I don't want to push it. I don't want to risk it. Remember, you want to cash out that ticket, slap in your next bankroll. In this case, it's $225, and carry on from there. So anyway, having said that, I'll bring this to a close. You saw how quickly I made 50 bucks. I'm guessing 10, 15 minutes you could have made that amount. And over the course of time, throughout that hour, you're looking at between $175 and $200, depending on how long you have to wait for the perfect opportunity to make your strike. Anyway, having said that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I might put out a couple more today. It is a Saturday, and I want to make it to that $1,000 goal within that first day. Therefore, achieving my goal of paying for the trip, paying for my bankroll, and building it from there for the last 2 days. Going up in tiers and, having fun with it. Without any stress at all, knowing I'm on house money and everything else is secured and I met my goal. Anyway, with that in mind, stick around. I'll probably go ahead and put out another one. This will be the end of our 6.45 or 6 hours 6:45. We'll just stick with that. It would be a lot less. But now I'm at 6:75. All right? Stick around for more. Take it easy.